Hi students, welcome to the lecture on dissolution. In this lecture, which is the first part of the lecture dissolution, we'll see what is dissolution and how the process of dissolution occurs. Now coming to the definition, dissolution is a process in which a solid substance solubilizes in a given solvent, that is, mass transfer from the solid surface of a dosage form into the liquid phase. Dissolution generally is the rate determining step for hydrophobic, that is purely aqueous soluble drugs, for example drugs such as griseofulvin, spironolactone, etc. Now, why do we do dissolution studies? Now, dissolution studies officially are considered as a quality control test for dosage forms. It helps to study or determine release of drug from dosage forms like tablet, capsules, etc. It shows that the rate of drug release is uniform batch to batch, and it can also show the release profile of dosage forms, and we can estimate if the dosage form is an immediate release, sustained release, extended release, controlled release, etc. kind of dosage forms. This figure here indicates the process of dissolution. You can see a tablet which disintegrates into smaller parts which could be termed as granules, which further disintegrate with time into smaller particles. You can see the dissolution process which occurs in the tablet phase, granule phase and small particle phase is quite different, wherein the best dissolution is seen when it is in the form of small particles. That is, the drug goes into solution. And this is very important for the simple reason that only when the drug undergoes dissolution, it can be absorbed and then be bioavailable in the body. Now, dissolution mechanism takes place in two steps. Firstly is called as the interfacial reaction, which causes liberation of solid particles into the boundary layer, and second step, migration of solute from the boundary layer into the bulk of the solution. This generally occurs by diffusion and convection process. Now these two steps, the interfacial reaction is generally a very quick step which occurs very fast, and the migration of the solute takes a longer time, that is, it being a slower step. As in any reaction where it is followed by consecutive steps, the rate of the reaction depends on the slowest step. Similarly, in dissolution, the overall rate of dissolution depends on the slowest step, which generally is the second step, that is migration of solute from the boundary layer into the bulk of solution. This step 2, which is the rate of dissolution, also known as the rate determining step, depends on Fick's law, which is given by dC by dt directly proportional to delta C. That is, the rate of diffusion is directly proportional to concentration gradient. This theory is also known as the diffusion layer model or the film theory. Here there is formation of a thin film at the interface called as the stagnant layer, which can be seen in the figures below. The interface is considered as the surface of the dosage form and between the vehicle, which is your dissolution medium. The two steps involved being interaction of solvent with drug surface to form a saturated drug layer, which is called as the stagnant layer, and diffusion of drug molecules from the stagnant layer into the bulk of the system. Now this dissolution from a single spherical particle, that is the surface of the dosage form, is given best by the Noyes-Whitney equation, which says dm by dt is equal to k1a delta C by H, wherein dm by dt is the rate of mass transfer, A is the surface area available, and delta C is the concentration gradient across the boundary layer. The rate of mass transfer is inversely proportional to the thickness of the boundary layer through which it has to diffuse. The similar equation is slightly modified further, which is dm by dt is equal to K1A in bracket Cs minus Cb slash H. The Cs minus Cb refers to nothing but delta C, that is the concentration gradient, wherein Cs is the saturated concentration at the surface of the dosage form or in the stagnant layer, and Cb is the concentration of the drug in the bulk of the solution. In this equation, K1, also known as capital D, is the diffusion coefficient or diffusivity of the drug. Now, when you consider the concentration gradient, if the volume of the dissolution medium is large, that is, when Cs, if the volume of the dissolution medium is large, then the concentration in the bulk, that is Cb, can be considered as close to zero. In other words, when Cb is not allowed to exceed 10% of Cs. This is called as sink conditions. In this particular situation, the concentration of the drug in the bulk is always maintained at a low level as compared to the saturated concentration. Then the equation, modified Navier-Stokes equation, is converted to dm by dt is equal to dAcs divided by H, which is the thickness of the boundary layer. Another equation which gives the dissolution of powdered particles applicable for drug in the powder form is given by Hickson-Crowell cube root law. Here the rate of dissolution is based on cube root of weight of particles. So cube root of m0 minus cube root of m is equal to kt, where m0 is the initial mass of powder and m is the mass of powder dissolved in time t, and k is considered the cube root dissolution rate constant. This process of dissolution, which we saw in various steps, also involves some energy changes. Now, like we have seen, dissolution involves relocation of the solute molecule from the surface of the dosage form into a cavity in the liquid of the dissolution medium. Now, the energy changes for the same. For spontaneous reaction, delta G, which is the Gibbs energy, must be negative. G is a measure of the energy available to a system to perform work and given by delta H minus T delta S. Delta H is the change in the enthalpy of the system, delta S change in entropy of the system, and T being the absolute temperature. When heat is absorbed during dissolution, it would be an endothermic process, and if heat is evolved during the dissolution process, it would be termed as an exothermic process. Now, summarizing the lecture, we have seen the definition of dissolution, we have seen how dissolution occurs in different steps, and the energy process during occurrence of dissolution. Thank you for patient listening.